Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Monday, April 25. I know that Australia is a holiday today, but the indices are still moving in the Australian dollar, and also too, I probably need, I do need to go to the hospital to get my clavicle bone looked at again tomorrow at 10:30. So I probably won't get to this video tomorrow morning. That's it. I'll probably just be able to do the US stocks and the US indices, and yeah, and I may not even be able to do the commodity. I'll see when I come back, see how long I'm at the hospital for, and I might be able to do the commodities when I get back. But yeah. Okay, today, obviously we've had a sharp move down, and we need to take a look at that. And I'm thinking that the sort of worst case scenario here is that that we come down in 5 waves here. And this means that the bank would also be in that vein as well. So if we look at this A wave here, because we've got 5 waves here, an A wave here, then an A and a B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the C of B, and then down for this C wave here, I don't think it's going to go down like down here in any way, because it came so high here. It means that it's quite sort of strong in that regard, you know. So we will need to look for 5 waves here, but this basically, this A wave, B wave and C wave here will match up with this A wave and A, B, C for the B wave here, and down for the C wave here. Now, obviously the Australian banks and the US banks have got some sort of, you know, connection. And this is just the XFL, which is the finance sector. And yeah, now it started in January here. So that's pretty much when this started here in the Australian market in January, because the ASX is influenced by the banks mostly. So yeah, I guess coming back to the US ones here. So yeah, we're still looking for this to come down a fair bit further, and it will come down in not a straight line like this. It looks a little bit simplistic like that. It's not going to be quite like that. There's going to be another move up here and then another move down. So, but it's just putting the US banks into line with the Australian market, and the Australian banks doing much the same as well. You know, when this started though, this was much earlier. This is in November, so our market started correcting, you know, much earlier as well with all of this. So anyway, that's sort of where we are at the moment, really, with this. That's my thinking, you know. Is it possible that this can be wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 here, and then 4 here, and we just go straight up from that point? Possibly. You know, it is at the 38.2% retracement level, but I just wouldn't bank on it, you know. That's the 38.2%, so it can go from there. The stochastics are suggesting that we're pretty close to, you know, getting down here in the low. So this whole move down here, that would be, that's, you know, going to see a bounce very shortly, and we can see that in the US markets as well. So that's one thing we can have a bit of a look at. But yeah, I mean, obviously this indicator is lagging, and it needs to catch up with things a bit. But yeah, so we can look for a bit of support to come in, probably around the 7,300 area. That would be the top of group 1, and we can also see that it's kind of, you know, had a bit of history as well here, so probably we'll get our bounce off that. Yeah, so we've been using the 100 ticks here for this, I think, for calling in trade. So we'll just take a look at this. Okay, so we called that top in there, then we had this long winding sort of road to this point. I'm not quite sure how we should look at this. I don't know if we should look at it as wave 3 here, if I can just borrow that there, chum. Didn't want to give it up. So we could probably look at it like this here as 5 waves down. I know that we could also look at it as down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and down for 1, that kind of thing as well. But I think looking at it this way would, if you're short at the moment, it would make you think hard about taking some money off the table with this. So you have to keep an eye on the US markets for this. So that brings us back up to this supply lot over here for that. So all in all, it's possible to come back to this point here. So that means that, you know, would you take some money off the table here, so to speak, you know? I think that's you know, a good consideration at this particular point. And if we do come back up here in you know, in sort of 3 waves, so to speak, well, then we'll look to obviously we can look to go across here, and we can draw a line through here and those sort of things. So yeah, I don't know how we should look at this here. I don't know if we should look at this as wave 1 to here, and then look at this as wave 1 to here, you know, and then wave 2 here, that sort of thing. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and even 1 and 2, you know, might even just, because we've got a long way to travel, you know, we may even just come back up to this level and go down. So there's a few things. So we'll just sort of chill on that, and let's just see how it plays out with all of that. Yeah, okay, so that's that. And the banks, so with CBA here, we shorted at the top here, so that was good. And let's just go into the 100 ticks and keep it simple. Obviously it's closed today, and it'll depend on what the markets, US markets, do. Now, to me, this move down through here is kind of, you know, it's all the same family, all the bars, you know, it's sort of sweeping down. So at some point we're going to get a rally out of this. You know, how far does it come back is the question. So will it come back 50-60%? Well, it'll depend on what happens in the off hours. So, you know, it depends on what you want to do with this. It's the same sort of thing with the ASX as well. If you would like to take some money off the table here, well, that would be a good move. We can also bring this down under here now for that as well. Just lock that up there, take some money here. If we see some sort of correction here, how far it'll go, I'm not sure, but what we want to do is definitely look to take some money off the table there. And this could also just bounce down here first and then make a move to the upside, or depending on what the US does, it could even just gap to the upside, you know. So we don't know that just yet, but that's where that is. And iron ore, so I'm a little bit unsure about this situation. I can see that the market's come down. I can see that we've got ourselves an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we may just come down to the 800 for this, or we could come down a little bit further. My best count for this would be that we still stay with wave 1 here, come back for wave 2, and then wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here for this. So I think that that's sort of where we are. So I'm just going to stay with that. But it's possible to come down further. The stochastics is just, you know, well, you can see where they are at the moment. But we'll just clear out this here. So there's still got a fair bit to come down. So we probably see it down at this point. But yeah, still got, you know, probably, you know, 3 days here before it turns. We'll see how that sort of travels in that space there. We have cleaned out of most of the iron ore stocks, but I'm just reassessing BHP. So I've just tweaked the count a little bit as 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. For 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So diminishing into that point there. So I think that we can come back to around the 42, 43 area with this. And I think that we'll be looking at some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave here, and then we can go up from that point. So I think that the other markets are a little bit the same, but slightly different. I mean, the same in that they're coming down, but slightly different counts. Now, Rio here, we need to look at this as an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave for the B wave, and then 1 and 2. We do have a little 5 wave move here. Not very nice, but it's sort of okay-ish, you know. Could be counted slightly differently as well. We could actually have another low and then call that wave 1. But the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave coming back, testing these lows somewhere between, you know, the 100 and 103, somewhere in that sort of space. And also with FMG as well. Yeah, I mean, as we know, we've had this as a wave 2. I don't think that's the case unless we get another high here, because this move up here is 1 or A and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. So that can be wave C there. And I should really put that there as wave C. It just makes it a little bit more professional. So that can just go in there as wave B, wave C of B. But if we make a new high there, then I can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here, and then a deeper move here. So I'm a little bit sort of unsure, but that's okay. We don't have anything in here, or you may have, but I've talked about that a little bit. So yeah, I'll just leave that there for the moment, but this could follow Rio in terms of some sort of A wave, even to here. And this could be an A, B, and C wave and still have that top there. There's a few things that can go on here. I think overall we just need to expect it to be a bit weaker and can move down lower. But it's a good stock, and it you know, it doesn't normally if it's going to come down, it comes down on its own. You know, it was kind of a bit more advanced than the other ones coming down when it started. So US gold. So with US gold here, we've been looking at it, well, in line with silver, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, as wave 1, and then wave 2 here, and then going down further. Now, I have to be a little bit careful here. I don't know if we've got wave 2 in here. That's pullback 61.8%. But I was also thinking too, if I can just sort of go over to GDX here. So with GDX, we can see the stochastics are down here. We were looking for 5 waves in this move here. So we've probably, as I mentioned last time, we got 1 and 2 here and down for 3. We may have 4. I don't think we got 4 and 5 in there just yet, but we're close. But I was thinking that, you know, if we get 4 and 5 in here, then we're going to get this rally here, and we're going to have another. But this rally here sort of bothered me a little bit, because where does that come into on this market, you know? I was thinking that I'm thinking this wave 1 here could also be over here with 1 and 2 and 3 just to there, 4 to here and 5 to here, and then we go up here for an ABC pattern. You know what I mean? And also too, because we're looking from this B wave, we're looking for 5 waves down of 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, and then down. But GDX here would just all have that as the A wave, and then the B wave and the C wave. So sort of that's got to finish off, and then that, and then that. And if that's going to go up from that point, and if it's going to be that simple, well then, you know, do we do that here as well? Do we have the B wave here and just a C wave here, and then go up from that point? So it wouldn't really be like that. It'll be a WXY over here for that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to point that out, and it's something that I'll just keep an eye on. So I'm not really sure about this. I mean, it should just continue to go down as 1 and 2 here, but yeah, just need to be a little bit careful about that. We don't have a buying opportunity on our hands at the moment, and the market's still got further to go down, but just got to be careful about a bounce within all of that. Yeah, just I'll look at it closer in the other video when we look at that. So yeah, GDX here is an A wave, a B wave, a C wave. So this is very much the same as Newcrest mining and all the other ones that came up from this January low here. So with Newcrest here, it hasn't really finished off here very nicely. I suppose the best we could look at it as 1 and 2 in here. Put this over here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It doesn't really display a nice internal structure, I have to say, but just keeping it a bit sort of philosophical, just that, you know, we're looking for that top to be in play, and we're looking for some sort of ABC correction to pull back into this space here. Hopefully it'll stay in group 2 here, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's sort of where we are. We're just looking for a pullback in here. Don't know how long it's going to take, but we just need to, it's moving in line with GDX basically, so we can just, you know, merge them all together, and that's what's sort of happening there. The Aussie dollar, this is just the daily chart in this case, so it's a bit difficult to work that up there as a C wave, but I just like to keep things simple. So an A and a B and a C for the B wave, pulled up to the 50-60%, and then moving down here. So look, it may, you know, if I have to move that as a WXY, we could also get that over here, but just wanted to keep it simple for the time being on this one here. But just to let you know that we need to be down at between 65 and 68 for the Australian dollar. So it's going to follow the S&P 500 down basically, so it's got further to go down. It will have support in its, you know, 61.8% range, just on where it is here at the moment roughly. I didn't quite get it to the high, but yeah, it should find some sort of support deep into this area through here. It's just only natural to find support at that level. The hourly chart, let's have a look at that. Well, we're here down further, Pete. So yeah, so this is the top up there, so we can just, I'll put that in as a B wave up there, and we don't need that, don't need that, don't need some of these other things either. I've just got to keep it light at the moment. We've got too many objects on the chart, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I could do with that. Don't need these. So here, I think one of the first things that we may need to do is bring this, put this into here, and we probably need to bring that across here, and we'll bring this down here somewhere. Okay, we can use that. It looks better like that. We did count down to 1 and 2 there last time, so that could be 3, 4 and 5 here. I have to pull that apart when I've got a bit of time, but expect to bounce off 72 at that point. Don't need those. Still wants to come down, that's good. Could put those 1s and 2s up there. I'll need to check all of that actually. There's probably a couple more in here. And what I mean by that is sort of down here and up and then down, something like that. Anyway, we can look to short once we get a rally again within that space. We'll cut through like that. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that for everything. Yeah, alrighty, cheers.